Hello, everyone. Welcome to my live stream. Welcome. Now, what am I talking about? I'm essentially talking about money and money flow and how it impacts you in your life so that you can have generational prosperity and ideally start building generational wealth. Now, in order for me to walk you through this, I actually take you through a number of stories so I can challenge your thinking, I can challenge your decision-making skills, and ultimately, I can help you be able to move quicker, smarter in regards to money flow. So welcome. My name is Tara. This live stream, we put a lot of work into getting you these talking points. So I want you to understand that this is very informational, very educational. It is not entertainment. So if you've never been in my live stream before, you must understand that it's going to require a level of focus from you. And if you're not able to focus or keep up, you have a choice to scroll or you get to be quiet and sit back and chill. Next, I do have a moderator. My moderator plans my talking points. So if you get muted, please do not take it personally. It is our way of telling you to focus and or don't distract our other audience members from, what I'm sharing with all of you. Also, this is about money. Please keep your preferences to yourself. Your emotions, your religious, your racial, your political, whatever other preferences you have, please keep it out of my live stream because this is objective and is solely focused on money. Last but not least, I need you guys to tap that screen. That's our exchange. We put a lot of energy into this, and I would like to receive your energy back by having you tap that screen and give me hearts. I'm going to push you. I am going to challenge you. I am going to ask you questions that causes you to think, but ultimately, you have to be able to think for yourself. If you cannot think for yourself and you're not willing to start thinking for yourself, then my live stream is not the place for you. Do not ask me what to do with your money. Do not ask me about your retirement accounts. Don't ask me. Don't ask me. I'm here to help you make better decision-making skills, have better critical thinking skills so that you can follow money flow and ride one economic boom to the next. So if you're ready to get started with me, then I'm going to ask you, please tap that screen to let me know that you're ready because I'm getting ready to push it. I said it every day, but I'm getting ready to push it. So if you're ready, please tap that screen and let's get started. All right. Now, U.S. stock markets. The U.S. stock markets went a little higher because Trump has changed his tune. All right, let me know if you're ready for me. If you haven't been in my live stream, guys, I'm telling you this is how it works. I got information. I got exciting information. I got some intriguing information. And the only way I'm going to be continuing like this is if you tap that screen. So let me know when you're ready. All right. The stock market and Trump has changed his tune from yesterday. Things have gone up. They have not gone up in the way that you would expect. And I want to dive into what's going on because there is a shift that's happening right before your face. And I want you to be able to see what is happening in the world. So let me know if you can keep up. I know it's late, but let's go. All right. Trump has changed his tune. Trump has changed his tune from yesterday, okay? Yesterday, he was talking about firing the Fed chair, and now he's saying something completely different, all right? The Dow Jones has gone up by 2+%. The S&P 500 has gone up by 2.5%, and NASDAQ has gone up over 2%. Now, Trump now says he has no plans to fire the Fed Reserve Chair. Now, if you don't know this, the Fed Reserve Chair, even though they are part of the U.S. government, Trump has no power over this gentleman. So if you watched my live stream yesterday, I actually told you that our president of the United States was actually taking his time and his energy to focus on another person's job instead of focusing on his. Welcome, guys. Come on. What are we doing? If you don't want to be here, all you got to do is scroll. If you're here, there's no free rides. I can tell by the hearts. I can tell by the way my live is going up, whether you are engaging with me or not. If you're not going to engage, you can scroll. If you're mad because you got muted, you can scroll. If you want to be here, you want this information, you got to put some action behind this because I'm bringing you energy. You got to bring me energy. So please don't let me keep asking you. All right. I appreciate you, but you got to cooperate with me. All right. Now, Trump has also mentioned that he might lower tariffs on China. I want you to focus on what I'm saying here. You know that we had Liberation Day probably a couple weeks ago. Liberation Day was the day that the U.S. basically peanut butter spread reciprocal tariffs against the rest of the world. Now, after a couple of weeks and increasing tariffs so high and causing market disruption, chaos, and economic confusion and instability, he's now willing to say that he's willing to lower tariffs. Now, if you watched me a couple of days ago, I told you that Trump said, even though consumer confidence and consumer spending is being squished, is being diminished, he wasn't willing to lift tariffs, even though you can't afford all of your basic necessities. I'm going to repeat this. If you didn't watch my live stream then, you missed out. I told you a few days ago last week that Trump was not willing to lift tariffs to help consumers, citizens in the United States. He said that if consumer spending decreased more, then he may consider alleviating the pressure of the tariffs on your bank account. Now, all of a sudden, not because of you, not because of all of you, he's basically saying he might lower tariffs on China substantially. The markets didn't jump. On April 9th, the markets actually responded to what Trump said, and they actually had a spike. They went up. The markets are not responding. They're not responding. And I'm going to tell you why they're not responding. Because when you have policies, you shouldn't be worried about me, Venus. Venus, you're probably going to be muted or blocked. Venus, you're going to watch Venus get blocked because Venus is not paying attention. If you're not paying attention and you're leaving comments that have nothing to do with what I'm talking to you about, goodbye. Have a good day. Have a good day. The markets are not responding because how many times have you seen within the month of April that the markets go up, they drop further. They go up, they drop further. When you cannot rely on the vision, the position, the decision making of a very powerful leader that actually inserts a level of financial toxicity into our economics, into our economy, and to our stock market. I'm going to repeat. The purpose of having a stock market or a financial system or our economy is that there needs to be a level of stability, a level of predictability. And when you are missing that stability and that predictability, and when the wind shifts, there's a new policy change or there's an extreme trade policy or economic policy in regards to not getting what you want, at some point it starts to desensitize. It desensitizes the citizens, it desensitizes the investors, and it actually desensitizes our financial and our economic systems. So what I'm telling you is that the jump that you would have expected, the jump that you would have hoped for from the stock market is not there. It's also not there. Stop texting my man. Michael, now why would I stop texting your man when you know you don't got a man? When you get a man, I will start texting your man. But if you ain't got a man, nobody can text your man. So leave a comment that's relevant, all right? When you get a man, I will start texting your man, but you ain't got a man. Back on topic. Back on topic. Here's another reason. Here's another reason why the markets are not going up. It's because money's being pulled out. You would have expected the market to jump based upon what Trump is saying. He's basically changed his tune. He went from a banjo, what's the instrument, to an electric guitar, all right? He went from a banjo to an electric guitar. No one's listening to his music. And another reason is that money has been pulled out. Money is being pulled out of the market. So if you expected the markets to jump by a flip-flopper, exactly. If you expected markets to jump because he changed his tune, so much money has been pulled out that what he said was not going to bring the markets up the way you would have expected or hoped. Let me know if you're with me. You see, if the market's trying to go up and the amount of suction of money that's being invested is being taken out, it's actually going to minimize the boost or the boom or the increase that you expected. So I want you to know economic fundamentals haven't changed. But what I'm telling you is that money is being pulled out of the market. This is what I want to emphasize, okay? You've been sitting, you've been holding steady, you've been holding fort in this stock market that's on sale. Some of you have told me, you've told me with great strength in your decision that you're going to stay where you are. The market always comes back, David. Yes, but David, when is it going to come back? Because if investors are pulling their money out, when is it going to come back? In order for the market to inflate, there has to be money going into it. And if money is being siphoned out, is being pulled out, I got a question for you, Michael. When is it going to come back up again? And how low is it going to go? If you can answer those questions for me, Michael, feel free. But if you can't answer those questions, I'm asking you, how long are you willing to hold your breath before you see the market perform the way you want to? I'm going to repeat. If you feel so strongly on your position, how long are you willing to hold your breath to see that market go up? Because if you're not willing to hold your breath that long, that means you really don't believe in what you're saying. I'm just saying, I'm giving perspective. You don't have to agree with me. I'm just saying, if you're willing to hold it, I'm hoping June. All right. See, RBB, you're saying hope. When you start bringing the word hope into investment, now I know I got you. When you invest, hold on, guys, tap the screen. Y'all have fallen off. You've fallen off the wagon. You need to get back on this train. Get back on the train. I'm just getting started. I got more riveting information than this stock market, okay? I just wanted to let you know. The first 10 minutes of my live, I like to talk about the markets. I'm just getting started. You have no goddamn idea what I got planned for you today. So I need y'all to get y'all exercise. Take that finger, go tap, tap, tap. I'm just getting started. I'm going to blow your minds today like I do every day, but you got to tap. All I'm saying is this. Money's being pulled out. Even though you're being told the stock market's on sale, thank you, Quentin, you're being told the stock market's on sale, guess what? People are pulling out their money. Disagree, history says different. I'm sure, Yvonne, let me tell you what else history says. History says you're probably in the wrong live stream. Because if you knew so much about history, you would know on was it April 9th? You would know on April 9th, there were 3 death crosses. April 14th, there were 3 death crosses that happened on the stock market. So, Miss, where are you, Miss? Where'd she go?
I blocked.
Oh, I'm sorry, you got blocked. If you know so much about history, you would have known that there was 3 death crosses that happened on the market on April 14th. So if you're going to check a bitch, you're going to check me? Come real. All right? Moving on. Don't try me, guys. Don't try me. You're in the wrong live stream. Now, here we go. Last week, or about a week ago, what is a death cross? Look it up, Bobby. Look it up, Bobby. You got to do some work. About a week ago, I told you, I believe it was April 14th. On April 14th, I had
April 15th.
Okay, April 14th, April 15th, I had a live stream in which I told you Trump was attempting to isolate China from the rest of the world.
That's April 6th. I thought you were talking about that.
Listen to me. A few weeks ago, President Trump was using his negotiation with trade deals with the rest of the world. He was using those negotiations to arm twist other countries from doing business with China. Okay, I want you to understand that. He was attempting to economically, politically isolate China. He also said that if other countries choose to do business with or have Chinese companies inside their country, the U.S. would essentially cut them off. Now, what does that mean? That means money flow issues. That means he was putting countries in a position in which they had to choose China or the U.S. Now, that's not good for global trade. That's not good for free trade. But let me tell you this. Here's the problem. When he made that decision or he made that posture, okay, he made that decision, he assumed that the rest of the world would automatically slide to the U.S.'s side. Because once they start sliding on the US's side, it would essentially have imbalanced the scales of trade. Now, the EU has decided to couple with China. I know, never in your wildest dreams would you have imagined that the EU would have left the side of the US and coupled itself with China. The EU has decided not to break its ties with China as a condition for trade deals. So what does that mean? Yes, it means the world is restructuring. It also means, I got to ask this question for you. It means, how strong are we still in this global trade, in this global economy? The US. If you have countries that are blatantly telling you, I don't think so, bro. Thank you, madame. Thank you. I don't think so. And the EU is leading the pack of sliding over to China. That means if one has enough strength, one country has enough strength, gall, to side against the US, that means others will follow. Black power, you're correct. I'm just getting started. This is not even the peak of what I got to talk to you about. The EU says negotiating with the US is separate from EU-China relations. So what the EU is saying is that you're not going to tell me how I do business with other countries. One. Second, what does that mean? It means the US is losing face. And when you lose face as a superpower, you lose credibility. And when you lose credibility, guess what? Money flow starts to get impacted. You see, the reason why the US is a powerhouse, a superpower, is because there was a certain level of respect and there was an expectation of the US to perform and engage in a certain way. Tap the screen. Tap the screen. And when we are now losing favor, we have now made our friends, our frenemies. I'm telling you, that is setting the stage, that is parting the sea for other countries to follow. So if we had economic leverage over other countries, we are possibly losing the leverage, the political and economic leverage that we've had for many, many generations, okay? The EU believes that EU and China, the EU and China has two of the world's largest markets. Oh, thank you for the gift. The EU and China, oh, geez, thank you guys. Thank you. The EU and China has one of the world's two largest markets, and China is welcoming the alliance. Now, a few weeks ago, I told you that China was asking the rest of the world to come stand with it. Now, at that point in time, China essentially had crickets. China had also mentioned a few weeks ago that South Korea and Japan? Okay, China had mentioned a few weeks ago that it had a regional alliance with Japan and South Korea. Now, because of Liberation Day, Japan actually got on a flight, but I got some information about Japan. I'm going to repeat this again. I got some info, some insight from what I see that Japan's doing. And if you haven't been in my live stream before, it just gets better or worse. All right. So let's see what's happening. This is setting the stage for other countries to abstain from U.S. demands. The EU is setting the stage, the road for other countries to abstain, to rebel, to ignore the demands of the U.S. If other countries follow suit with the EU, are we still a superpower? That's my question. If other countries follow suit with the EU and abstain from the pressure, is the U.S. still a superpower? Because to be a superpower, you have to have influence. Hello, Toronto. You have to have influence. And I'm not talking about violent influence. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about political diplomacy type of influence. Is that what you're wishing? AJ, goodbye. Don't come in my live stream with this BS. I told you to keep your political preferences out of my live stream. This is about money. You see, the U.S. is a superpower for financial reasons. Other countries do business with the U.S. because of financial reasons. Hello, welcome back. For financial reasons. And if they can't get the money and ensure their longevity and prosperity, you must understand that we are putting ourselves in a position where we're sliding out of favor. So if you're asking me what I'm wishing, I'm asking you what the hell you're wishing for. Because my live stream is about money. It's about prosperity. It's about money flow and following the money flow for economic booms. And if people are not willing to do business with you, and people are not eager to do business with you, if countries are not eager to do business with you, this is business 101. Business 101. If you don't have customers, thank you, Dusty. Shake that ass. Thank you, Dusty. If people are not willing to do business with you, if they're not willing to run to the table with you, that's money flow. And the U.S. is a powerhouse because of money flow. So don't ask me foolish questions in my live stream, all right? On April 16th, Trump was forcing countries to choose between China and the U.S. You cannot force other nations to choose sides. This is not a playground brawl. The purpose of global trade is to have free trade. And when you have free trade, money flows. When you interrupt, hello, hi from Papua New Guinea, welcome. When you interrupt money flow, thank you, I am. There's an impact. When you create resistance and blockades to money flow and collaborative business relationships, there is an impact. I want you guys to understand this. There used to be a time where if the U.S. sneezed, someone had a handkerchief sitting there waiting for us. I want you to listen to me. There was a time where even before the U.S. sneezed, there was another country, an alliance that was there that had a handkerchief for us. I'm telling you, those deep alliances that we had, they're going because of a lack of respect, because of lack of understanding, because of mismanagement, because of an overstep in boundaries. We are human beings and a global economy. But there's a certain level of respect that needs to happen. There needs to be a certain level of respect for the EU. There has to be respect for Canada. There has to be a respect for China. And there has to be a respect for the US, even as a superpower. And when you don't recognize the value, the economic value that a sovereign nation brings, eventually you push people too far. Now, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Here's where it's going to get interesting in my live stream. Here's where I'm going to turn up the heat on you, all right? I just told you a few minutes ago that Trump was attempting to isolate China globally, economically from the rest of the world. Trump basically said publicly, if there's a country that chooses to do business with China, you will be cut off from engaging in trade and economic relations with the U.S. Now, let me tell you what's happened. About a month ago, I told you that Trump secured a $1 trillion investment deal from Saudi Arabia. All right, listen to me. If you're listening to me, tap the screen. About a month ago, I told you that Trump secured a $1 trillion investment from Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia was going to invest $250 billion over 4 years, which is essentially the Trump's duration of being president. Now, let me tell you what's happened. Aramco signs a development deal with China for its EV giant BYD. Listen to me. Listen to me. I told you a month ago that Trump secured a $1 trillion investment from Saudi Arabia into the U.S. I told you a couple weeks ago that Trump announced any country that does business or has Chinese business on its soil would be cut off from doing business with the U.S. Today, Aramco signs a development deal with China for its EV giant BYD. So, here's the question. What's going to happen to that $1 trillion investment? Is Trump going to concede and sit the hell down? Or is he going to cut off Saudi Arabia for signing a deal in China? You see, let me tell you what this means. Let me tell you what this means. It means Saudi Arabia is telling the world that it's going to do business how it wants to do business. EU is telling the world, including the US, you're not going to dictate who I do business with. So I've just given you two countries, rich countries, that are not letting the US dictate how they do business. Because essentially, when the US was attempting to arm twist other countries and to isolate China, that was a form of economic colonization. That is a form of financial economic colonization of those other countries. Do you understand? Oh, you taking other side. I take money. I'm on the side of money. Okay? I'm on the side of money. I'm not on the side of foolishness. I'm on the side of money. You understand? Can you spell money? Can you speak money? I side with money. I side with prosperity. I side with education. I side with free trade. That's what I side with. So I've given you two examples of two countries who have made a decision. So what's going to happen with that $1 trillion investment that Saudi Arabia has pledged to the U.S.? That's a real question, is it? What is Trump going to do? What would you do? Would you back down? Would you back down and concede? Or would you buck up? Please tell me in the comments. Let's take a poll. Let's say, what do you think Trump will do? Do you think Trump will be balanced, reasonable, understand? Do you think he'll concede? Or do you think he's going to buck up? You think he's going to back down? I bet he won't give it. Not really. What do you think he's going to do? Is he going to, no, is he already back? He's not fully backed. He hasn't fully backed down. He's weak. He will concede. Let's keep the disrespect out. Okay. I'm the only one that's disrespectful. Let's keep the disrespect out. That's what you need to watch for. Because if our great president does not come to the table with a sound mind, a sound body and economic mind, is he willing to forsake a $1 trillion foreign investment into the United States? I have to wait and see what he does. You understand what I'm saying? Tap the screen. I'm curious to see what our esteemed president will do. Will he have a tantrum? Will he have a backlash? Or will he come to his business senses and sit down and say, you know what, guys? I overstepped my boundaries. This is about money. This is about free trade. This is about global trade. He will take the trillion. Listen, do you actually think someone's going to take $1 trillion and get away with that? If you decided to invest $1 trillion, do you actually think someone's going to invest $1 trillion over 4 years and that money is going to go poof? No. Saudi Arabia, they're smart. I want to be clear. Saudi Arabia is smart. Now, Saudi Arabia aims to increase EV adoption from 1% to 30% in 5 years. All right. We're gonna keep watching out for that. We are going to watch out what's going to happen between Saudi Arabia and the U.S. Will we get that $1 trillion investment? And will Trump back down and get to business? Or will he have a tantrum and attempt to punish Saudi Arabia? We're going to have to see this. Now, Saudi Arabia aims to increase EV adoption from 1% to 30% in 5 years. Now, here's my problem. The EV renewable energy boom already happened. I'm going to repeat this. I talk about economic booms, and I talk about economic booms for a reason, because the purpose of economic booms is that you ride one boom to the next, and that is how you have continuous prosperity and build generational wealth. Saudi Arabia built a lot of its wealth off of fossil fuels, off of oil, gas, petroleum. Now they're attempting to move from that to EVs. Now, here's my problem. Saudi Arabia is going to invest in BYD's research and development. They're going to collaborate on high performance and efficient renewable energy vehicles. Renewable energy vehicles are old. I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend anyone, but that moment has passed. So yes, do we have renewable energy EV vehicles? Yes, but that is an economic boom from the past. So the question I'm now asking is, Saudi Arabia, I understand why you're moving over to renewable energy, because you're trying to secure your nation's economic future away from fossil fuels. But the question I have to ask is this: is EV the best way to put your money? Because you're putting your money in an industry that's essentially plateaued. Okay, they may have some better chips. Okay, they may be able to store power longer, but that excitement, that money train has left the station. So I'm posing this question to all of you. If I told you the EV boom, the renewable energy boom, is old news, do you think it makes sense for a rich country like Saudi Arabia to invest their money into research and development in an industry that's essentially been there, done that? I think they can put a portion of their money into that, but I think they should be into cutting edge technologies. Now, it's important for Saudi Arabia to have a large, sustainable amount of a way to generate an income for their economy. But I'm telling you, research and development into EVs is not the way to go. That's just my opinion, because it's already, it's nothing new. I understand, but we are way behind in the U.S. for EV. That's fair, Les. But Les, just because you're way behind doesn't mean that you can't leap ahead. Listen to me. Sometimes countries think that you have to follow this certain life cycle to get to prosperity. In my opinion, I would leap over EVs. You can easily import EVs. Tesla has now been allowed to sell its EVs in Saudi Arabia. So if you can import the cars, hydrogen fuel may be next. Yes, you got it. That's what I would focus on. I would not be focusing on EVs. I would be focusing on something that would catapult me over this old economic boom. That's just my opinion. We are not Tesla starting here.
Yes,
You understand?
we're not behind EVs. Tesla started in the US, that's what you said.
Okay, so I'm talking about Saudi Arabia. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to journey through EVs. You can leap ahead. So I'm just giving food for thought. What about natural gas? Natural gas is a critical resource. That's always going to be money. That's always going to be money. But you understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to change the way you guys think. When I told you the purpose of my live stream is, you think that because the US had EVs, that you must go through EVs. No. The money world is dynamic. It's fluid. It is not linear. So if I can get y'all to stop thinking so linear and to be dynamic, you don't have to follow the path of the US to get riches. You do not have to follow in the shadow and the footsteps of the United States of America to have a prosperous, rich nation. I hope that makes sense. You can cut the line. You can get ahead by leveraging technologies that are for the future, because that is where you're going to mint money. You can't mint money from an industry that's basically old news, because you had people who already snatched that bag. So now what you do, you jump ahead, and you jump ahead quickly. All right. Now here's my next story. Oh boy. This one I got for you is a doozy. This is a doozy. This one, I've been waiting to get to this one for you, okay? You remember when the Ukraine-Russia war stopped? You remember when the Ukraine-Russia war started? The EU and the United States put sanctions on rich U.S. citizens, which means we froze their assets, okay? Do you recall that? When the war between Ukraine and Russia started, the U.S. and the EU froze the assets of Russian citizens, all right? Now work with me. Now, about a few weeks ago, I was telling y'all that if you listened to companies like BlackRock, Citibank, HSBC. They were telling you to invest your money into China. And I told you guys, if you invest your money on foreign soil, when two countries are battling out, you run the risk of your business investments being frozen. I told you that. Now let me tell you what's happened. China is going to sanction U.S. Congress members, officials, and NGO heads. Now this is the real thing. Why does our Congress members have money sitting in China? Listen to what I'm asking. I can only speak so clearly, so I can only speak. Yes. Why do our policymakers have money in China that's able to be sanctioned? Tap that screen. Don't you love me? Think about what I'm saying. Our policymakers, our lawmakers have money. Yes, you got it. Where are you? 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 Proud American, Mr. Garbage, Mr. Garbage, Mr. Garbage. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, Mark. Thank you. I told you I'm here to challenge how you think and money flow. That means there is money that has flowed into the bank accounts of our congressmen, and it has not flowed back into the United States. I told you my live stream is about money flow, and I'm going to repeat what I just said. We have policymakers and lawmakers. Our president has money in China. Well, you should be questioning. What are we actually fighting over then? If we have money sitting over there, why do we have tariffs of 245%? Think about what I'm saying. I told you if it doesn't make sense, there's something wrong. If it does not, why do U.S. citizens have to pay the price of 245% tariffs? Why do you don't have access to goods? Why is it that U.S. domestic firms are not able to export their products overseas to China when our lawmakers, our policymakers have money sitting in a country and we're fighting with them? I don't understand this. Something doesn't make sense. Something does not make sense. If you are making laws for U.S., why do you not have your money sitting in the U.S.? Why is our congressman, U.S. congressmen, have money sitting overseas unless there's some form of collaboration that's been happening for a prolonged period of time? What's to come? I'm curious to know what's to come. We stole a lot of money from Russian citizens. Now China's saying, I got your bag. China's basically announcing to the rest of the world, your U.S. congressman has money in our country. They're telling on them. China is subtly, politically correct, telling on our congressmen what they've been doing. So this is something for all of you to consider. You have to see a bigger picture than the stock market being on sale. When I tell you things are quiet, that's a huge amount of money that's moving. You're paying attention to the hype of, banks are a safe haven, currency is a safe haven, the stock market's on sale. You're paying attention to the wrong information because the real money, the tsunami money, is happening where it's quiet. It's quiet. You're trying to figure out how to pay for your basic necessities, and your congressman has money sitting overseas and they can spend as they please. So when I tell you, frankly, it's about money. So I'm not even upset. But what I want you to understand is I don't want you upset. I don't want you upset. What I want you to do is to be shrewd and objective. I want you to understand, hi Aaron, I want you to understand the money flow. the money game. Do not cry over a stock market that's falling. I want you to hunt this money. And to hunt this money, you have to be able to read the nuances and what's happening. You understand? You have to see what's happening. And then when you understand what's happening, that is how you follow money. Some of you are chasing money and the money train is gone. You're trying to grab prosperity and generate wealth from an area that's basically barren. You have to go where the money soil is fertile. And that fertility, as far as money and abundance, it's in areas that you're not paying attention to. Because you've been trained to focus on the stock market. You've been trained to put your money in crypto. You've been trained to put your money in currency. There are many different ways for you to earn money. But you have to step out of old money systems and see a bigger perspective. I don't understand what is happening. If you don't understand what's happening, you probably should not have put that in the comments, Tracy. Just sit back. Just sit back and listen. All right? So U.S. sanctions, the U.S. put sanctions on Russia. We did asset freezes. So China is basically saying China's using sanctions to slam the U.S. on high tariffs and leveraging it as negotiations. China is threatening sanctions against congressmen as leverage against U.S. tariffs. I would call that a motivating factor, would you not? Depending on how much money these congressmen have in China, I would say that's a motivator, would you not? Imagine if you have hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars sitting in China, offshore accounts, and you know that money's going to be frozen because your president is wilding out. Do you see the self-motivating, self-serving motivations of our policymakers? So don't be surprised if things start changing. Don't be surprised if our congressmen, they change their tune. They go from being silent to being really loud. And I want you to know it's not because of you. It's because of their money sitting in China and a bank account. Now, where that money came from, only you can guess. Where that money came from in China, in a Chinese bank account, only you will have to guess why that congressman got that money. Okay? You connect the dots. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that. Now, this is my last story of the day, and then I'm going to transition, okay? This is my last story for y'all today, and then I'm going to transition. If you want to hear any of my other stories I have, you have to come to my next live stream, but this is what I got for you right now. The U.S. slaps 3,500% tariffs on Southeast Asia solar imports. Listen to me. The U.S., which is the Trump administration, has just now slapped 3,500, that's 3,500% tariffs on Southeast Asia solar imports. Now, remember I just told you that Saudi Arabia has just invested in EVs, renewable energy, with China. So instead of the Trump administration going after China or Saudi Arabia, they went after their partners in Southeast Asia. That means he had a tantrum. Tap that screen. 3,500% tariffs on solar imports from Southeast Asia. I just gave you an example of our great president having a tantrum. 3,500% on imports from Southeast Asia on solar imports. So if you want to know why the stock market did not rebound, and you want to know whether our administration is going to concede, do you still think he's going to concede? Do you still think President Trump is going to concede on his position of isolating China? Because the EU doesn't care. Saudi Arabia doesn't care. How much does President Trump care about making America great again? Does he care enough to put his ego to the side and realize 1 trillion of foreign investment from Saudi Arabia is worth more than his pride? Next, punishing Southeast Asia for a move that Saudi Arabia made. That's not cool, because we are representative of free trade. We are the poster child. We're the poster child for free trade, capitalism, democracy. So you're now putting 3,500% tariffs on countries, which means you are preventing them from engaging in free trade, right? If we believe in free trade, there's a time for tariffs, and there's a time where a tariff goes from a blessing to a curse. When you have tariffs amounts of 3,500%, that is not a blessing, that is a hindrance, that is a curse. So I have to ask you, when we start engaging in extreme measures that is contrary to free trade. Hi, Devin. I'm happy you're here too. When we are contrary to free trade, it's not even hypocrisy. It's beyond hypocrisy. It's money flow. Money flow to the U.S. because of the freedom of being able to engage with your money to invest in businesses and start businesses. When you cannot invest, manage your business, profit from your business, and sell to your customers, you are obstructing what we were built upon, which is capitalism and democracy and liberties. When we infringe on the liberties of another country or a region from engaging in free trade, do we still represent a capitalistic, democratic, free trade society? That is my question for all of you. What do you have for me? Tell me what you think. Do we still represent that? You know, JB, history does repeat over and over again. And that is the most miraculous thing, and that's why I talk about history. Because if you go back in time, there comes a critical time in every great empire's history. There comes a critical time in which we make a decision that is going to propel us forward, or it's going to be our demise. I'm going to Athens, Rome, China, Britain. Every time in history, they make a few wrong moves, and it's the demise of that empire. We think that great empires can't fall, and you are witnessing when an empire goes against what gave it success, when we go against the spirit of what made us a superpower. I am telling you, we are positioning ourselves, we're setting ourselves up for our own economic demise. And if our economic demise keeps going in the direction that it's headed, money is going to flow in the direction where there's stability, where there's visionary leadership, where there's respect, where there's collaboration, and where there's a free, equitable flow of money. Nobody wants to be in manufacturing night. Who in my live stream wants to work on the factory line? Hold on. There's a person that came in my live, Tano Knight. Tano Knight is saying that the U.S. should be How many of y'all want to be standing on a manufacturing line? Come on. Who wants to go back to the manufacturing line? Not me. Not me. So when they're telling make America a manufacturing, let me tell you what that means. It means China is going to become America and America is going to become China. That means America is going to become an export manufacturing country, and China is going to be a nation. Asia is going to be a nation of innovation and technological advancement ideas. If you want to be a manufacturing superpower, that means either you have robots or you have humans. And since robot technology is being stunted, it means not my booty, your booty is going to be on that line. Now, if y'all don't know, I'm in Vietnam. So it won't be my black ass working in that manufacturing line. I'm going to repeat. I am not in the U.S. So it will not be my black, voluptuous booty working on a line. For those of you who are still in the U.S., I'm telling you, it's going to be your booty. Your dry booty, your crusty booty, your funky booty, whatever booty you're working with, it won't be my booty. It will not be my booty. I'm ridiculous. Okay, I'm in Vietnam right now. I'm not working on any lines, okay? I run my mouth. My brain and my mouth, that's my talent. All right, guys. This is the portion of my live stream where I tell my normal audience, okay, if you're interested in my live replays, all you have to do is go to my profile, go to my website, and enter your email address. I want to repeat, if you're interested in knowing how to get access to my live replays, you go to my profile, you go to my website, and you enter your email address. Now, for everyone else, okay, if you're looking for six-figure income, daily cash flow, 100% profits in your bank account, okay, I need you to stay with me. For those of you who want to know how to earn money with a business that's done for you, that gets you onto the road to hit the ground to earning profits digitally anywhere in the world, this is the portion of my live stream. So everyone else, thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the time. All right. I got you tomorrow. And just to let y'all know, after this, I live stream on my other account. There's some information that I have not talked about. So if you're interested in continuing this journey with me, I have another TikTok account that I go live on right after this, and I actually cover a few different topics there. So all you have to do is go to my other account. It's Live, Love, Earn. I'm going to repeat. Live, Love, Earn is my second TikTok account. I go live streaming right after this, and I talk about some things that I have not covered here. So if you haven't had enough of me, you may join my live stream there in about 20 minutes or so. Otherwise, everyone else, have a good night. Where are my money people? Anyone who's interested in daily cash flow, 2-hour work days, a done-for-you digital business, okay, money in your bank account, automated income, I need you to stick with me. Tap that screen if you're ready for me. Anyone who's interested in multiple automated income streams using technology in an industry that's booming and which Live, Love, Earn, correct, that's my other account, Live, Love, Earn. If you're interested in learning how to get daily cash flow, what does that mean? That means you get paid in your bank account. There's no middleman, there's no hype, there's no pennies, there's nothing like that. Okay, some of you are selling digital planners. All right, you're selling digital planners and you're making $10, $15. Y'all need to scratch that. You need to scratch that. There's a more profitable, lucrative way in which you could be earning hundreds of dollars a day in a digital industry that is booming. So imagine having one customer in which you earn $600. That means your day is over unless you want more money. Who can do this? Anyone can do this. So if you're ready for me, please tap that screen. Because when you tap, I know you're ready for me. Let me know. Tap, tap, tap. If you want to know how to have daily cash flow, if you want to know how to take some of the financial pressure off of you by working less and earning more, this is real. This is why you listen to me, because I push your mind and then I tell you, you do not have to do back-breaking labor. You no longer have to work 2 to 4 jobs to earn an income. You can work 2-hour work days and be able to pay your bills. I'm going to repeat. You no longer have to work 8 to 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can have a 2-hour work day, get a skill set that gets your bills paid plus off of a 2-hour work day. Live, love, earn. That is correct. That's my other profile. Reggie, hold on, Reggie. Sounds good to me. It should sound good to you. Let me explain to you why. Automations is something that's a part of your life. Automations is in your DVR. So when you record your favorite shows, you're actually using a digital form of automations to record your favorite TV shows. So if automations is used for you to record your TV shows, and automations is used even when you order food at some of your fast food restaurants, they use automations. So automations is the key for a normal human being to be able to have a 2-hour workday, automated income streams, and earn 24/7 passive income. And when I say 24/7, that is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You have an automated business with multiple income streams that's doing the grinding for you. You with me? It does the grinding. You don't have to cold call. You don't have to DM. You don't have to email. You don't have to get on the phone. You don't have to do a video call. That is the power of automations. And when you couple automations with the e-learning industry, it is a lucrative powerhouse business model. I'm going to repeat this. It's a lucrative business model. Why? Because you don't have to create it. The business model is already set up. It's online. What am I talking about? I'm talking about you having an online business that's done for you, which means it's already built. You get a domain. You plug your domain into this automated system. This automated system uses funnels. What is a funnel? A funnel is a money maker. The funnel is how you get people's email addresses. And with email addresses, you start having your automated system engage with your email list. And that is how you generated income. Now, this is not rocket science. You can be anybody, anywhere in the world, and you will be taught the skill sets to master a 6-figure income earning skill set. What does that mean? Imagine getting paid $300 plus daily, deposited in your bank account, 100% profits. When I say 100% profits, I want to emphasize what I'm talking to you about. I'm talking to you about having a business in which you work for yourself. You earn 100% of the revenue. You have 0 expenses, which means you earn 100% of the profits. Some of you are doing network marketing and you're earning $10. What in the hell can you buy for $10? You can't buy you can't even buy Starbucks for $10. So if you're working hours, earning $10 profit off of a product, I'm telling you, you are performing old money systems. You're doing old money system work. That's broke money. Perfect. You have to understand this. You're not earning the money that is worthy of your efforts. So how do you switch from working hours out of a day, not earning enough money? First, you need an automated system. And the good news is that this automated system is already built. You can be a stay-at-home mom. You can be a high school dropout. You can bag groceries. You can be a cashier. You can be a stay-at-home mom. I don't care what you are. You can have an automated system, a done-for-you digital business, one. Next, you will be equipped with digital products that are already made and proven to sell. Some of you like to create products that there's no proven track record of selling. And you want to know why you hear crickets, and you want to know why your bank account does not reflect what you deserve. It's because you've created something that has not been market tested, that is not in high demand. So when you have an automated system, that's an online automated business, you have high demand, high profitable digital products. That is a recipe for success. Stop doing guesswork when it comes to your prosperity. Stop putting yourself in industries that are flat, that are saturated, and not earning you money. And stop following the status quo. Now, why am I talking about this? Because e-learning, online learning, is a lucrative industry. You don't believe me? Go to Harvard. Go to Harvard's website. Go to Princeton's website. Go to Pepperdine's website. Go to Berkeley's website. Go to Stanford's website. Guess what they offer? They offer e-learning programs. Where do I join? You don't have to join. All you got to do is make a decision to have your own business and get it set up. It's on my profile. I'm going to repeat. They have online e-learning programs because it allows them to educate people without having high expenses. So now that I've shown you this is an industry that's real, there's so many companies and educational institutions involved, you should get involved. It is a $1.5 billion daily industry. That means $1.5 billion is being earned in revenue every single day with e-learning. First. Second, E-learning is projected to double by 2027. Brad, all you have to do is go to my profile. My website's there. That means in 2 years, it is projected to go from 1.5 billion to 3 billion. Do you not see money on the table? I'm telling you right now, it's 1.5. In 2 years, it's going to double. That means this is an industry, an opportunity that actually has money available. So while you're beating your head up against the wall, trying to get a job, trying to make ends meet, you're doing this wrong. I told you the purpose of my live stream is money flow. And when you follow real money flow and an economic boom, that means it's easier for you to have prosperity and build generational wealth. Money does not discriminate. Money only has a problem with you if you're in the wrong vicinity. So when I go to you about these stories, I am trying to educate you about how to look at opportunity. Now, to avail of this opportunity, guess what you need? You need the technology and you need the knowledge, and they actually come together. You will be taught what you need to run a successful, done-for-you digital business. I'm going to repeat. You will be taught live, love, earn. That is it. That is correct. Live, love, earn. You will be taught the skill set you need to run a successful, done-for-you digital business. So what does that mean? That means that you will be taught step by step everything you need to walk your way towards a six-figure income. Now, Reggie says, how much does this cost? Well, this investment is going to cost you a one-time investment of 100, 300, or 600. I'm going to repeat. One-time investment of 600, 300, or 100. Now, you're asking me what's the difference? Well, your goals. 2, the income streams. 3, the amount you want to learn. That's the difference. How much do you want to earn? How much do you want to learn? That determines how you can ramp up. Let me give you an example. Let's say you do the 600 program. The 600 program gives you the 300 and 100 program for free. Let's say you do the 600 program. The 600 program affords you the opportunity to have one customer and you earn $600. So if the customer pays $600, you earn $600, your day is done. Now, let's say you do the 100 program. You need 6 customers on the 100 program to earn $600 in one day. If you do the 300 program, you need 2 customers to earn $600 in one day. What is $600 times 30 days? That's $18,000 in a month off of a 2-hour workday. Daily cash flow, 100% profits. So when I tell you about automations, it's real. When I talk to you about 2-hour workdays, it's real. You don't believe me? Go to my stories. Go to my stories. Listen to me. Watch me. My stories disappear. You don't have to work more than 2 to 3 hours a day to earn 6-figure income. You're going to leverage technology. You're going to leverage your cell phone, and you're going to leverage your mind, because your mind is a powerhouse. There's a puzzle. Come on, puzzle. Your mind is a powerhouse. This is beginner friendly, budget friendly, simple, step by step. Stop failing. Stop guessing. Stop doing trial and error and follow a roadmap and blueprint to your 6-figure success. It's no different than you entering an address on your GPS. You enter an address on your GPS and you trust that your GPS will get you to your location. Here's the same thing when it comes to your success. There's a roadmap. There's a blueprint that is proven. How is it proven? Because it earns. The blueprint earns. The system earns. The product earns. The only person that's not earning is you. So you must insert yourself into this systematic approach where you're essentially failure free. Where can I start? You start by going to my profile, my website's there. I want to repeat. Instead of trying to fail your way to success and end up on the path of discouraged, embarrassed, broke, and destitute, stop guessing. Stop doing it alone and get taught what you need to get to where you want to go next. There's no monthly expenses. So when you invest one time in your education and the automated system, there's no more money spent. That's how you have a profitable business. That is why people are able to recoup their investment and move on their way. If you have a traditional business, you know how long it takes for you to recoup your investment? If you have a traditional business, do you know how long it takes to break even? Ask a real business owner how long it takes to break even. I'm telling you, there's a done-for-you business model that is so profitable and so quickly you can break even, it would blow your mind. So if you've never had an opportunity to have daily cash flow, a 2-hour workday, the ability to have unlimited income earning potential, you need to go to my profile. You need to go to my website and you need to see what you're missing out. This is not multi-level marketing. So you need to scratch that from your head because that is an old, broke paradigm that is there to exploit people financially and energetically. This is not network marketing. Again, that's pennies and peanuts. This is not affiliate marketing. Those are percentages. That is crumbs. I don't deal with crumbs. I deal with ease and I deal with cash. Very simple. Go to my website. Enter your email address. Make a decision. People are learning skill sets, selling a product that's worth hundreds of dollars, and that's in demand. E-learning is not going away. You will get an education, and then you will have an ability to offer that to other people and earn an income. You don't have to create anything. That's why this is a done-for-you digital business. It's already done for you. You hit the ground and start running your way to your 6-figure income. Does that make sense? It's a done-for-you business with a system that works, with a roadmap blueprint that earns money. It's a proven. I'm going to say proven because people are earning money. Now, what's the risk to you? What's the risk to you? Let me tell you the risk to you. You are the risk. The blueprint works. The system works. I do it. I use it. The only risk is you. You disappointing you. You failing you. You getting in your head. That's the problem. You not being consistent. You not being committed. You not understanding the value of knowledge and how this digital knowledge will set your future up economically. That's the problem. Some of you want money, but you really don't want money. Some of you are all talk. You talk about you want money. You talk about you want prosperity, yet you're not willing to take action. Money is not going to come to you. You got to work. You got to walk to it. You got to go to it. And you got to do some work. So if you can hustle for pennies, peanuts, and scraps, you can get this money. If you can struggle to make ends meet and master the art of being poor, yeah, some of you have mastered the art of financially struggling. I'm telling you, that's a broke money mindset. And I'm going to leave you where I found you. If you've been waiting for a way to get ahead, whether you're an au pair, you're a gardener, you're a nurse, you're a lawyer, you're an accountant, you're a former executive, you're a stay-at-home mom, you're a widowed father, whatever your story is, I don't give a damn. Imagine daily cash flow payouts in your bank account. Thank you for the gift. It goes straight to your account. There's no stop off. There's no stop offs. It goes to you. Go to my website. My website's on my profile. Thank you. E-learning is real, people. E-learning is real. There's no gatekeepers. There's no red tape. There's no licenses. There's no permits. And there's no one who's going to tell you no to getting this money. So stop working at jobs and get an automated system that works for you. Stop working at jobs and get an automated system that works for you even when you're sleeping. So if you've never made money while you sleep, you've never made money while you have romance time, you've never made money while you're traveling on a plane, I'm telling you, automations and automated income, 100% profits, it's the future and it's happening right now. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for your time. Go to my profile. My website's there. Take care. Goodbye.